Pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. Are you choosing to be a victim of circumstance or the master of your fate? Today, let the wisdom of Epictetus, history's greatest slave philosopher, illuminate the dark corners of your mind. We often think we are unhappy because of poverty, betrayal, or failure. But no, we are unhappy because we are trying to control things that do not belong to us. This video hands you 30 keys of Stoicism to unlock the door to absolute freedom, ataraxia. Take a deep breath, block out the external noise, and step with me into the journey of building an impregnable inner citadel. My dear friend, if you are reading these lines, perhaps your soul is in turmoil. It may be disappointment in your career, the agony of betrayal, the fear of an uncertain future, or simply the feeling of exhaustion before the ceaseless grind of life. We often think that we suffer because the world is cruel. But Epictetus, a slave in chains, a man with a crippled leg, but a soul as free as an eagle, taught us a different truth. We suffer not because of what happens to us, but because of how we respond to it. Today, you and I, let us journey together to study 30 foundational bricks to build an inner citadel, a place where no matter how fierce the storm outside may be, the flame of peace within you shall never be extinguished. This is the most fundamental, the most paramount principle of Stoicism. If you do not comprehend the following things I mentioned to you, then every effort to heal is meaningless. You see, the greatest error of mankind is attempting to control things that do not inherently belong to us. Some things are in our control and others not. Things in our control are opinion, pursuit, desire, aversion, and in a word, whatever are our own actions. Epictetus opens his teachings with a sharp boundary known as the dichotomy of control. Imagine life as a voyage at sea. You cannot control the direction of the wind, the height of the waves, or whether the ship suffers a sudden malfunction. These are external things, externals. But you have absolute dominion over your helm, how you hoist your sails, and your resilient attitude when facing the storm. These are internal things. Internals. Suffering arises when we try to command the wind to cease blowing. You can do nothing about external factors. You may wish to change them, but this will be exceedingly difficult because they belong to something else. They belong to others. They do not belong to you. You can only perform well in what belongs to you: your soul, your thoughts, your determination, and your efforts. Unable to control the factors that are not yours, direct your mind and make yourself a better, more complete human being each day. When anxiety strikes, pause. Where does this problem lie? If it lies in the opinions of others, in the economic situation, or the weather, let it go, for that is not your territory. If it lies in your effort and your attitude, grasp it firmly and act. Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. This quote resolves the fatal misunderstanding that Stoics are passive, resigned people. No, we are proactive. We pour 100% of our energy, enthusiasm, and wisdom to what is in your power.
Like an archer drawing the bow, taking aim and honing skills are your tasks within control. But once the arrow has left the string, whether the wind blows it astray or the target moves is a matter of the external out of control. Look to or depend upon external elements, those things which you can never control. You must act and determine your path based on your internal elements, your intellect, your mind. It is only the things belonging to your inner self that determine the successes in your life. Do your utmost, dedicate yourself fully, but do not tie your happiness to the final result. Serenity lies in knowing you have tried your best. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Freedom here is not merely political freedom or bodily freedom. It is the freedom of the mind, ataraxia. If your happiness depends on whether a lover texts back or not, you are a slave to the phone. If your peace depends on a boss's praise, you are a slave to the boss. True freedom is when you reclaim that authority, not handing the key to your happiness to anyone or any circumstance to hold. No man is free who is not master of himself. You may be a king of a realm holding the power of life and death in your hands, but if you cannot resist a burst of anger, cannot refuse a petty temptation, or cannot lift your spirit when facing failure, then you remain but a pitiful slave to your own desires and emotions. The most difficult governance, the most glorious rule, is the governance of oneself. The greatest empire is the empire of the soul. Sometimes you think conquering things out there is difficult, is glory and fame, but you are mistaken. Mastering your own self is the greatest victory in life. Do not seek what is far away. Focus on mastering yourself first. That which seems easiest is sometimes the hardest. Errors often stem from the fact that you cannot master your own self. There is only one way to happiness, and that is to be worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. Epictetus uses the phrase only one way. There are no shortcuts. Worry is the most useless waste of human energy. Worrying is like sitting on a rocking chair. You move constantly, expending much effort, but you go nowhere. Things beyond our will, such as death, reputation, the past, are boulders. Whether you worry or not, the boulder remains there. Only the educated are free. Education in ancient philosophy is not about degrees or titles. It is education in the art of living. A farmer who cannot read but clearly understands the laws of heaven and earth, who knows how to accept a failed harvest and still lives joyfully, is more educated and free than a learned scholar who is always resentful, envious, and fearful of death. Having established what is within our control, we move to humanity's most potent weapon, the ability to interpret reality. This is the core of modern psychology. Men are disturbed not by things, but by the view which they take of them. This is the foundation of cognitive behavioral therapy. The event is objective. The emotion is subjective. Let me give you an example. Event. You are fired. Perspective 1. Failure. My life is over. Emotion, despair. Depression. Perspective 2. This is a signal from the universe telling me I need to change. This is the opportunity for me to find a new job that suits me better, something I have delayed for so long. Emotion, hope. Excitement. You see, the event remains exactly the same, but the emotion changes completely thanks to the lens you choose to wear. Perceiving an event from different angles will bring you different judgments and thoughts. It might be a positive perspective, but it could also be a perspective that leads you to negativity. A positive perspective will help you overcome adversity and help you rise up. A new door, a new horizon, a new future will open to you. But if it is a negative perspective, it will gradually drag you down deeper, submerging you in failure and despair. It is not he who reviles or strikes you who insults you, but your opinion that these things are insulting. Thrown into the void will create no sound. An insult thrown into an indifferent, steadfast mind will cause no injury. When someone verbally abuses you physically, they are merely emitting sounds from their larynx. It is your own ego. The thought, "Why does he dare to look down on me?" that is the blade stabbing into your heart. Practice viewing malicious criticism like the noise of traffic or the barking of a dog. You do not feel insulted by a dog's bark. So why pay mind to thoughtless words? Everything has two handles, the one by which it may be carried, the other by which it cannot. When conflict or adversity occurs, there are always two ways to grasp the problem. Two handles. The resentment, injustice handle. Why me? This is so unfair. If you grab this, the burden will crush your spirit. You cannot lift the problem. The tolerance lesson handle. What does this teach me? What suffering does that person carry? If you grab this, you will be able to carry the problem much more lightly. The wise always look for the handle that helps them maintain their virtue. Acceptance is not cowardly surrender. Acceptance is the harmonization of the individual's flow into the great and mysterious flow of the universe. Don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do happen, and you will go on well. We often play the role of spoiled children, stomping our feet and demanding the universe revolve around our petty desires. Why did it rain on my wedding day? Why did I get this disease? This resistance to reality creates friction, and friction creates suffering. Epictetus advises us to ride the wave of reality. Do not fight against what is. Dance with the rain instead of cursing it. Do not seek to have events happen as you want them to, but instead want them to happen as they do happen, and your life will go well. The secret to ultimate happiness is the synchronization of individual will with the will of nature, logos. When you want what is happening, you always get what you want. It is a great psychological trick to become invincible before fate. Instead of wanting the world to change your desires to suit the world. Never say of anything, I have lost it, but I have returned it. Is your child dead? It is returned. Is your wife dead? She is returned. This is the most shocking, painful, yet most imbued with love and liberation statement. Epictetus views life as a temporary inn. Everything we have, body, health, loved ones, possessions, is not ours, but borrowed from the Creator for a brief period. When the Creator demands it back, we should not weep like a victim of theft, but be serene like one repaying a debt. This mindset transforms the pain of loss into deep gratitude for having been fortunate enough to possess those precious things in life. Remember that you are an actor in a drama of such a kind as the author pleases to make it, if short of a short one, if long of a long one. Life is a grand stage. You do not choose the script, fate. You do not choose your co-actors, family, society. Nor do you choose the length of the play lifespan. Your duty is not to complain. Why must I play the role of a poor man? But to perform that role of a poor man excellently, honestly, with integrity and full self-respect. The value of the actor, the human, lies in their acting skill, virtue not in the script. Whatever the role, play it to the fullest. Stoic philosophy is a philosophy of action, of sweat and effort, not of flowery words in lecture halls. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Every great journey begins with identity. You must know the destination before taking a step. Who do you want to become? An exemplary father, a resilient leader, a serene soul. Define that identity clearly. Once defined, every subsequent action must serve this identity. If you identify yourself as an honest person, you cannot be deceitful even for a penny, even if no one is watching. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. The world is too bored and tired of those who speak of morality but live poorly. Epictetus despised empty intellectual showing off. Do not tell me you are a good person. Show me how you keep your calm when someone throws water on you. Do not lecture on courage. Stand up after failure. Embodiment has a persuasive power and spread 10,000 times greater than words. Let your life be the best lecture. Sheep do not vomit up their grass to show the shepherds how much they have eaten, but when they have internally digested the pasture they produce, outwardly wool and milk. A rustic yet profound metaphor for learning. Reading 100 books, eating grass without applying anything, only showing off quoted knowledge. Vomiting grass is meaningless and filthy. Which must be digested through the process of reflection and practice, seeping into flesh and blood to then bear the fruit of good character, kindness and composure, wool and milk. That is the true purpose of learning. If you wish to be a writer, write. This concise statement shatters all procrastination and delusion. We often wait for inspiration, wait for perfect conditions, wait to buy enough tools. But the essence of the noun writer is defined by the verb write. You want to be a good person? Do good deeds. Right now.
Habits are formed from actions, and character is formed from habits. Maturity begins when blame ends. You cannot be both a victim and the master of your own life. Small-minded people blame others. Average people blame themselves. The wise see all blame as foolishness. This is the scale of spiritual maturity. Small-minded always consider themselves victims. Everything is someone else's fault. They live in perpetual resentment. Average begin to look inward but fall into the trap of self-torment. I am terrible. This is a step forward but still carries negative energy. Wise blame. No one, not even themselves. They view events as an objective chain of cause and effect. Car broken. Fix the car. Made a mistake. Learn from it and correct it. They waste no energy finding the culprit, focusing 100% on the solution. To accuse others for one's own misfortune is a sign of want of education. To accuse oneself shows that one's education has begun. To accuse neither oneself nor others shows that one's education is complete. And the ultimate goal of self-cultivation is serenity and proactivity. One who has graduated from the school of life does not waste time complaining. They understand that misfortune or happiness comes from within, from how they react, not from what others bestow or take away. If anyone tells you that a certain person speaks ill of you, do not make excuses about what is said of you, but answer, "He was ignorant of my other faults, else he would not have mentioned these alone." This is the pinnacle of humor and absolute confidence. When you are bad-mouthed, the common reaction is anger, denial, and justification. But Epictetus teaches us to play along with the slanderer. Why? Because this proves, 1, you know you are not perfect and accept it. 2, the words of the other person are not weighty enough to shake you. You disarm the enemy by agreeing with them sarcastically. You become invulnerable. When you are offended at any man's fault, turn to yourself and study your own failings. Then you will forget your anger. Arrogance is the source of anger. How dare he do that to me? To extinguish it, use empathy. Recall the times you too were thoughtless, angry, or mistaken in the same way. Realize that we are all flawed human beings struggling with life. This understanding will transform anger into compassion. Difficulty is the greatest teacher, and humility is the tuition fee to enter that classroom. Difficulties are things that show a person what they are. In calm, favorable circumstances, anyone can appear dignified and kind. Only when the storm strikes, when interests are threatened, is true nature revealed. Are you a coward or a brave soul? Are you loyal or treacherous? Adversity is like fire testing gold. Do not fear it. Welcome it as an opportunity to understand yourself clearly. Every difficulty in life presents us with an opportunity to turn inward and to invoke our own submerged inner resources. Every adversity comes with a corresponding weapon to deal with it, but it lies deep within your soul. Face temptation. The weapon is self-control. Face physical pain. The weapon is resilience. Face verbal abuse. The weapon is patience. Adversity is an invitation for you to open that armory and use them. Without adversity, those qualities would forever sleep and atrophy. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid with regard to external things. You cannot be both wise in the ways of the world, scheming, maneuvering, trendy and wise in morality. Sometimes to preserve your dignity, you will be ridiculed by the world as foolish, as not knowing how to enjoy life, as an eccentric. Accept that. That is the price to pay for spiritual progress. Do not try to appear knowledgeable about everything in the world. Accept being a simpleton regarding artificial values. It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. The ego is the enemy of learning.
If you walk into life with the attitude, "I know it all," you slam the door of knowledge shut. Epictetus reminds us to keep the mindset of an empty cup. Intellectual humility is the prerequisite for absorbing more wisdom. Always tell yourself, "I might be wrong, there might be another perspective." Happiness lies in simplicity and wise selection. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. The mathematical formula of wealth. Wealth, what you have, what you want. To increase wealth, people usually try to increase the numerator, earn more money, buy more things. But this is very difficult and has no end. Hedonic treadmill. The Stoic chooses a smarter way. Decrease the denominator, reduce desires. When you no longer crave luxuries, you immediately become wealthy, abundant, and free. You master money rather than letting money master you. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. The human mind tends toward negativity, always looking at the hole in the donut instead of the donut itself. We suffer because we don't have the new iPhone, forgetting the immense joy that we still have eyes to see the world and ears to hear music. Gratitude is the instant antidote to greed and envy. It is a sign of a dull nature to occupy oneself deeply in matters that concern the body, for instance, to be overmuch in exercise and eating and drinking. Epictetus does not forbid us from living healthily, but he warns against becoming obsessed with appearance and bodily pleasures. The body is merely the vessel containing the soul, a beast of burden for reason. Excessive grooming of the shell while neglecting the core intellect morality is a sign of shallowness and mediocrity. Care for the body just enough for it to be healthy to serve a higher purpose. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. A classic reminder, yet never old. When you speak, you are only repeating what you already know. When you listen, you have the chance to learn something new from others. Silence and deep listening are expressions of respect, humility, and a thirst for learning. Keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. Emotions and attitudes toward life are contagious. Social contagion. If you associate with 5 complainers, you will be the 6th. If you associate with 5 brave, optimistic people, you will learn resilience. Protect your inner citadel by filtering out those who dump emotional refuse and seeking out wise teachers and friends. Your environment determines a great deal of your ability to maintain yourself. My friend, we have journeyed through these meaningful quotes, which are also the hard-earned lessons of the ancients. But remember, Stoic philosophy is not a painkiller that you swallow to instantly end suffering. It is a training regimen. It demands persistent sweat and sometimes tears. Tomorrow, difficulties will still come. People may still speak ill of you. It will still rain when you do not want it to. But I hope with these sharp weapons in hand, you will no longer be afraid. You will stand firm like a lighthouse. Amidst the open sea, waves may crash against the base of the tower, but the flame at the top still illuminates the night. Start with the smallest thing. Distinguish what is yours and what is not. Start building your citadel starting today. I wish you strength and resilience on your journey to mastering your life. Epictetus once said, "Only the educated are free." Education here means understanding yourself and understanding life. I hope today's 30 lessons have helped you loosen some of the invisible chains binding your mind. Which brick do you find the most difficult to lay? Is it controlling your emotions? Or is it accepting fate? Amor fati. Don't hesitate to share your story in the comments, because we are here to improve together. Thank you for listening. Live strong, and I will see you soon.